Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Yes, friends, this right here is exactly what we want to see. It's going to be the year of investigations and hopefully the year of accountability, like I keep saying. This new Republican House, after all the concessions, after all the discussions, is becoming the gift that keeps on giving. And when it comes to investigations and accountability, it's time to take action, and it's time to set sights on the Bidens. A couple months ago, after some new Hunter Biden revelations were surfacing, the mainstream media kept saying, well, it's no big deal. No, it's no big deal at all. There's bigger problems in America than talking about Hunter Biden. If anything, we should feel bad for Hunter Biden. He's a drug addict. The poor guy. But of course, we knew exactly what they were trying to do. They were merely trying to change the conversation to distract us, as if the Hunter Biden laptop or any of these scandals and allegations surrounding Hunter Biden ever really had anything to do with Hunter Biden. Nobody cares about Joe's crackhead son. The focus is and always has been Joe Biden. How is he connected? What exactly are they selling? And why isn't the mainstream media and why aren't Democrats interested or curious? Well, it's still week one since Kevin McCarthy has been appointed speaker. It's the first week since Republicans have taken over, and another promise made, another promise kept. They're launching investigations with target number one, Joe Biden. Let's get into it, folks. It's about to get real exciting. All right, folks, so here it is. This is exactly what we wanted to see, what we wanted to hear. GOP Oversight Chairman takes on Chuck Todd. We're not investigating Hunter Biden. We're investigating Joe Biden.
Let me ask you this. You're going to do a lot of oversight. You're going to have a lot of subpoenas. Many people look at what you're doing and they see that it looks more partisan than professional. Tell me how you're going to try to departisanize an investigation, or do you expect it to be partisan?
Well, with all due respect, Chuck, I disagree with that. I think the only people that see this as a partisan investigation are the media and the hardcore Democrats. Look, at the same moment that the Democrats on the Ways and Means Committee released Donald Trump's taxes, they then, moments later, turned around and said Comer's investigation of the Biden family influence peddling is a revenge hearing. I mean, are you kidding me? Look, a Harvard poll just came out and said 65% of the Americans believe that the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop should be investigated. But let me be clear. We're not investigating Hunter Biden. We're investigating Joe Biden. And I think any American who's kept up with the political process over the past two administrations would agree. We need to know what is allowable and what isn't allowable with respect to foreign adversarial intervention among family members of presidents of the United States.
Now, the friggin' nerve of this guy, Chuck Todd, to claim that these investigations look partisan. After 4 years of Trump investigations and Trump impeachments, continued by the January 6th panel, the Mar-a-Lago raid, and everything else over the last 2 years, please take a hike with your partisan investigation concerns. And to be completely honest, the only way the American people are going to get the truth on this, the only way a thorough investigation into the Biden crime syndicate is going to happen, is through a partisan investigation, because clearly Democrats in the mainstream media aren't interested at all. Not to mention there's quite the distinction here. Adam Schiff and crew and all of their investigations targeting Donald Trump, there was never any legitimate evidence. There was never any there. The whole thing was a nothing burger, and Van Jones admitted it from the start. Democrats knew it since the start. When it comes to the Bidens, there is a lot of evidence. Whether it be circumstantial evidence or legitimate evidence, there is a lot to suggest corruption, influence peddling involving Joe Biden throughout the years that he was actually serving as vice president. And GOP Representative James Comer is holding nothing back and says we are going to investigate Joe Biden. Good. The question we need to be asking when it comes to the Bidens is, where's the money coming from? Joe Biden was recently answering some questions the other day where he said this.
They set up an office for me, secure office in the Capitol. The 4 years after being vice president, I was a professor at Penn.
The 4 years after being vice president, I was a professor at Penn. He says it so casually, so nonchalant, but there are a lot of unanswered questions involving Joe Biden's time at the University of Pennsylvania. Now, Joe Biden's account is missing some context. First of all, he wasn't a professor at UPenn for 4 years, but rather 2 years. Secondly, he never actually taught a class. He was just listed as a professor, and he continues to bring this up as if he was teaching classes, as if he was an actual practicing professor at the university. Here's the most interesting part. He was paid $1 million a year. $1 million a year to do nothing, not even teaching one single class. What Joe Biden did do, however, through the University of Pennsylvania Biden Center, was bring in $54 million in gifts, which was donated to the university. And if we delve into the numbers of the top 10 foreign donations to the University of Pennsylvania by country, in the top 3 are China and Hong Kong, totaling nearly $120 million in donations, and that's not counting Singapore, which has at least some business ties to China. How about we get some answers about this? How about we get some answers of Tony Blinken's involvement, who was the managing director of the Penn Biden Center and helped advise American universities on how to get multi-million-dollar donations from China. Natalie Winters gives us an update.
Whether it's donations, research, or students. So this really shows you how evil it was. They were advising these universities how to still receive not just taxpayer-funded grants, but taxpayer-funded grants from the Pentagon to conduct research while simultaneously, opening their wallets to cash from the Chinese Communist Party. They've since deleted all of this activity. But again, just to reiterate, Secretary of State Antony Blinken's firm used to court foreign donations for America's top universities, and he was also the managing director of the Penn Biden Center, which, as we explained in the last block, really is kind of a key player in this very, very shady multi-$10 million deals of Chinese money flowing into.
Again, investigate them. It's not about little crackhead Hunter Biden. Nobody cares about Hunter Biden. He's the epitome of white privilege, essentially. A spoiled trust fund baby with the last name Biden, who was able to get away with whatever he wanted. Of course, certain people have grievances with that, but at the end of the day, nobody really cares. Hunter Biden can live the rest of his life in peace, selling his paintings to the highest Chinese donor. People want to know Joe Biden's involvement, and they want to understand where all the money comes from, his incredible net worth, the multi-millions that the Bidens have brought in through the corporations that they own and run. When Joe Biden took office, he released his tax returns, and I think he declared like $600,000 in income that year. I'm pretty sure that was a scam. I'm pretty sure that doesn't give us the full picture. The Bidens are huge multi-millionaires with homes all over the place. I'd like to get an idea of their true net worth, properties that they own, gifts that they receive, family businesses, family trusts, and of course personal trusts, and the most important thing, where all that money's coming from. Well, now thanks to Nancy Pelosi, we have legal precedent to just obtain people's private records and tax returns and release them to the public. They did it to Donald Trump, so how about we do it to Joe Biden for the entire 8 years that he was vice president, and not just his personal income and personal taxes, but the trust accounts and the family businesses. Not exactly sure what business the Bidens are running. It's not like they're producing goods or doing really anything of value. They're selling themselves, they're selling their souls to our foreign adversaries. And so launch the investigations, subpoena them all, and get to the truth. Biden is going to have a tough 2 years here, folks, and it's about damn time. This double standard can no longer exist. It's time for Republicans to play offense, just like the Democrats did in targeting Donald Trump. These Democrats can no longer just get away with this stuff. We're now learning based on reports that classified documents found in Biden's private office covered Iran, Ukraine, and the United Kingdom. Some potentially very serious stuff, especially knowing Joe Biden's involvement in Ukraine. What exactly were those Ukrainian documents? And listening to Joe Biden's response when questioned, it seems as if he's not worried at all. I'm a Democrat, therefore I'll just be let off the hook, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting.
But I don't know what's in the documents. My lawyers have not suggested I ask what documents they were. I've turned over the boxes. They've turned over the boxes to the archives, and we're cooperating fully with the review, and which I hope will be finished soon, and there'll be more detail at that time.
But this cannot be allowed to stand. We all remember what Joe Biden said when classified documents were found at Donald Trump's home, who had the authority to declassify documents.
When you saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago. What did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible.
How could anyone be that irresponsible? Well, I don't know. How could they be that responsible, Joe? In Donald Trump's case, he's a criminal, and how could anybody be so irresponsible? How could anyone be such a criminal? Joe Biden does the same thing, except even worse, and it's no big deal. In fact, Joe Biden had no idea that those documents were even there, and they were cooperating the whole time. Give me a friggin' break. And now, knowing Joe Biden's think tank connections, and their connections to China, and of course his connection to the Ukrainians through his son Hunter Biden and his brother Jim Biden, well, it makes the possession of these classified documents even sketchier. The Bidens peddling their Washington influence to foreign countries while simultaneously illegally possessing classified documents. That's messed up. And so I'll repeat myself again. Investigate them all. Something's fishy, and it's time to get to the bottom of this. What exactly is the Biden crime syndicate doing? That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.